Don't look at me that way. You think I enjoy this? You think I enjoy buying all these books and showing them off on YouTube for you people to look at and comment on? I don't. I needed to buy these books. In fact, when I show you what I've got, you're going to see just how much I needed these. Yeah, right. First, I should show off something that came in the mail a little bit ago. This is the next book that we'll be reading for the Elusive Exclusive Book Society. This is The Texas-Israeli War, 1999, by, who wrote this? Jake Saunders and Howard Waldrop. So not two authors that I've ever heard of before, but apparently they teamed up for this novel. This is some, I almost said alternate history, but it was written in the 70s and takes place during 1999. So I guess it's a alternate future novel. But yeah, should be some cool military fiction. And that live stream is going to be on Pulp Mortem's channel, so keep an eye out for more details to come. So a couple of days ago, a friend of mine asked me to tag along with him on a work project, and he sweetened the deal by buying me some lunch and taking me to this used bookstore that was on the way. So we went to Wonder Book and Video in Frederick, Maryland. They actually have there are quite a few locations, but the one we went to is in Frederick. And it's quite a bit away from where I live in the state of Maryland, but I will have to find more excuses to go there more often, because it was a great store. They had a lot of cool antique books that were kept behind glass. I actually saw a box set of, I think they were first edition American hardcovers of The Lord of the Rings, and they were awesome looking. Definitely outside of my price range, though. But I was looking around in the fiction section in the science fiction fantasy aisle, which is two big rows of floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, and they were alphabetized by author, as you do. And so when I came in, I was near the Z's, and I thought to myself, oh man, I just read Nine Princes in Amber. It would be awesome if I found some more of the Amber novels by Roger Zelazny. And lo and behold, the first thing I see are these 4 books stacked on top of each other at the end of the shelf. These are the next 4 novels in the Chronicles of Amber series. So in addition to the first one, Nine Princes in Amber, I now own the entire Corwin cycle of the Amber series. So I'm definitely going to look forward to reading the rest of these. They're super cool, old school Avon editions. They all have this black livery with these kind of brightly colored, almost surrealist looking paintings on the covers. I really like them. So first we have, sorry about the glare. First we have Book 2, The Guns of Avalon. Book 3, The Sign of the Unicorn. Book 4, The Hand of Oberon. And Book 5, The Courts of Chaos, which might have my favorite cover. They're all cool, but I really like that one in particular. So yeah, nice old-fashioned Avon editions. I was looking around to see if they had a copy of Nine Princes to match these, but unfortunately they did not. So even though the edition of Nine Princes I have kind of clashes with the older editions, I do still have the first 5 books in the series, so I'm really excited about that. Now, even though older editions of his books are becoming harder and harder to find nowadays, I always keep my eyes open for some Michael Moorcock books when I'm at a used bookstore. And I wanted to find books 2 and 3 of the Silver Hand trilogy, which is the second half of the Corum series. And I didn't find any of the individual novels, but what they did have were 2 copies of the Chronicles of Corum, which are omnibus editions that collect all 3 of the Silver Hand trilogy books. So they had 2 editions of that book, and I just chose the one that I thought had the better cover art. So this is Chronicles of Corum by Michael Moorcock. I really got to do something to fix that glare. But as you can see, it says at the top, the sequel to the Swords trilogy, and there it lists the individual novels, the Bull and the Spear, the Oak and the Ram, and the Sword and the Stallion. And I love the cover. It's very goofy. We got Corum at the bottom there, brandishing his spear against this freaky alien-looking thing. It's actually a wraparound. You can see more of these creatures on the back there. Not sure what they're supposed to be. But yeah, I might not have all of the individual books, but I do have the entire Corum series now. I want to get around to reading those soon, he said, having said the same thing about every other book he buys. And then lastly, before I left the store, I wanted to actually look at stuff outside of the science fiction section. I spent most of my time in that science fiction section. But as I was walking out, I passed by the mystery section. And I looked up, and like I said, they were all alphabetized by author. And so I passed the A section, and I look up, and at the very top of the shelf, I see Assignment by Edward S. Ahrens. And so they're at the very top of the shelf, and I knew that I couldn't leave without picking up an assignment novel, because I'd never found any of them in the wild before. Nick from the Book Graveyard sent me Assignment White Raja earlier this year. I read that book, thought it was awesome. It might end up actually being one of my favorite books of the year. It was a ton of fun, and I want to read more of the series. But they had a bunch of them at the very top of this shelf. And so I picked up a step stool, walked over to it, climbed up on top, and tried to get to these books. And I'm a big guy, and so I could feel this old rickety plastic step stool just giving way beneath me. It was only a matter of time before I felt like this thing broke underneath me, and I took out one of the bookshelves with me. And unfortunately, the only other person in the aisle was this little old lady just minding her own business, looking through all the hardcovers of Dean Koontz and whatnot. But yeah, I didn't spend too much time up there because I needed to leave, and I didn't want to. I didn't want that step stool to give way. But they had a ton of the assignment books. And I decided to pick the one that had the best cover, the cover that appealed to me the most. And so I picked Assignment Budapest by Edward S. Ahrens. This is a very cool cover. I like it a lot. On the back, it has this headshot of the main character, Sam Durrell, which was common to the earlier printings of this series. And I love the blurb on the back. It says, "My name's Sam Durrell. I'm a troubleshooter for an agency so secret even the government doesn't know about it. My assignment, track down the traitors, the saboteurs, the secret official killers, and find Iona before the dread secret police tortures and violates her beautiful body." Oh my gosh, that's brutal. Which is funny because from what I've read of the assignment series, they're not overly scandalous, they're not overly sleazy or anything, but I believe that at the time, Fawcett Books was trying to market them to that audience. They were trying to market it to the more, the sleazier side of the spy thriller audience. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. Excited to check out more of the assignment series. Nick, if you're watching, thank you for turning me on to this series. It's awesome. Like I said, can't wait to read more of those books. But that's all for now, guys. As always, let me know in the comments, have you read any of these books? And until next time, farewell and keep reading.